Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am. Supreme Court and the Constitution doesn't apply to this court. What jurisdiction is this court operating under? Common law or admiralty jurisdiction?
It looks like you pled guilty to one charge.
I didn't plead guilty to nothing. I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am. I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am. A judge was operating.
Mr. Durham.
You must prove your jurisdiction. It right now. Everything must stop and you must prove your jurisdiction right now. I want a jury of my peers. I'm an American state national, so I get 6 American state nationals as my jury. Oh, so okay, I understand now. The bully tactic. Don't nobody want to answer questions.
This sovereign citizen and the judge got seriously heated, and the judge just couldn't get him to stop talking the entire time. They were going back and forth nonstop, and honestly, it was kind of entertaining to watch. This guy was in court for driving without a license and for paying someone for a certain service, if you catch my drift. Like, he's out here breaking basic laws and still acting like the court has no authority over him. Let me know in the comments how you think the judge handled it. Rate it from 1 to 10. I've got my own opinion, but I want to hear yours too. Let's dive into this chaotic courtroom moment and see just how nuclear this hearing really gets.
36th District Court is back in session with the Honorable Reagan Evans presiding. While court's in session, there's no reading, walking, talking, driving, eating, smoking. When your name is called, please give your full and undivided attention to the court. Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, good morning. This is the People versus Carlos Durham. Ticket number 203978842. Count 1, drove while license not valid or improper license. Ticket number SP11540063. Count 1, drove while license not valid or improper license. And it looks like we're here for a review on ticket number U40128517. The conviction is disorderly conduct. Good morning. Please say your name to the record.
I'm here, Your Honor. My name is Carlos. My name is Carlos of the Durham family, and I'm here as executor of the estate named in this matter and beneficiary. And I appoint you, the judge, as trustee to dismiss this matter.
You can't appoint me as a trustee. I'm not the trustee on this matter. I'm the judge of this matter. And we're not dealing with any beneficiaries or any of that. You're dealing with the defendant. And it's my understanding that you are Carlos Durham and you're the defendant in this matter.
Do I have a right to subrogation? Does the prosecutor give me the right to subrogation? Do I have a right to subrogation?
I don't even know what that is. What's subrogation?
I require subrogation.
What is that?
You don't know what subrogation is, Your Honor?
I don't.
Okay. Are these proceedings being recorded?
They are.
Is your bond and oath of office valid, current, up to date, and still in effect?
I'm an active member of the bar.
For the record, please present your bond and oath of office to the court. The prosecution bonded for this matter.
The prosecutor is not present right now, Mr. Durham, but I don't have to do that. So I'm here at special appearance, and I'm here for the purposes of demurrer. All rights reserved under my full God-given name, Carlos Lorenzo Durham, as indicated by this birth certificate. Mr.
Right
Durham,
here.
Mr. Durham,
I am also the sole beneficiary for this legal entity.
Mr. Durham, everything that you're stating does not apply to this court, sir.
So the Supreme Court and the Constitution doesn't apply to this court. What jurisdiction is this court operating under? Common law or admiralty jurisdiction? Because those are the only two jurisdictions that's mentioned in the Constitution. Which jurisdiction is this court operating under?
Either. We're operating under state law.
So it's operating under statutory? Is it operating under statutory jurisdiction, Judge? Because if it is, I need to know the rules and procedures for statutory so I can defend myself. Could you tell me where I can find a copy of that?
Mr. Durham, we're operating under the law of the city. These are city ordinances, and these are misdemeanors.
Those are not laws, ma'am. I'm an American state national, ma'am.
How has nobody mentioned this dude showing up to court without his daily sovereign citizen helmet? That's like the unofficial uniform. No helmet, no credibility. It's all just vibes and fake Latin legal spells at this point. One wrong citation and he's on full brain overload. And Zoom court? Still? In 2025, COVID ended ages ago. Yet here we are buffering justice like it's 2003 dial-up. The craziest part? We only get to see this circus thanks to a few Michigan. Judges letting cameras roll. Imagine what's happening in places like Texas where the feed's not public. Somewhere out there, some guy's yelling, "I don't consent to a vending machine," thinking he's about to beat the Constitution in open court. Let's dive in and see just how deep this nonsense goes.
Mr. Durham, these are your options today. This is, one is already set for a review because it looks like you already made admissions. It looks like you pled guilty to one charge.
I didn't plead guilty to nothing. I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am. I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am. A judge was operating.
Mr. Durham, Mr.
I didn't plead guilty to nothing, ma'am.
Mr. Durham, how this can work, we both can't talk at the same time. So you need to be respectful and let me say what I need to say. I've let you say what you needed to say. So you need to let the court speak now. So you've already pled guilty, sir, in 2017. Or no, your plea date actually was October 4th, it looks like. And you were charged with offer to engage the services of another for an act of prostitution. It was amended to disorderly conduct. And so we're here for a review on that matter. We have two charges of drove while license not valid or improper license. The offense date is October 18, 2020. And then there's another drove while license not valid or improper license charge with the offense date of January 14, 2021. Now, today, you can either set these for, they're already set for a pretrial. So you can set this for a trial, which it could be a bench trial, where the court, meaning the judge, myself, would decide if you're guilty or not of these offenses, or you can set it for a jury trial. Those are your options, sir.
So my option today is not to challenge jurisdiction, because when jurisdiction is challenged, everything must stop and jurisdiction must be presented. You must prove your jurisdiction. It right now. Everything must stop and you must prove your jurisdiction right now.
You're incorrect, sir. I don't have
Ma'am,
to.
I'm incorrect. Your oath of office says you're supposed to uphold the Constitution and all laws pursuant. The Constitution says I have rights, and you're not giving me, you're violating my rights by not telling me what jurisdiction we're operating under. Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am.
I'm not violating your rights, Mr. Durham.
Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am.
I don't have to prove my jurisdiction.
So yes, you do, because jurisdiction, when it has to be proven, must be proven. If you're exerting authority over me, you must prove your authority. Prove your jurisdiction, ma'am.
Mr. Durham, what we'll do is we'll set this for a jury trial. And so I
want a jury of my peers. I'm an American state national, so I get 6 American state nationals as my jury. I need the prosecution to send me my right to subrogation.
If you're wondering what subrogation is, don't worry, this guy doesn't know either. It's a civil law term used when, say, your insurance pays for your damage and then sues the person who caused it. What it's not is some magical legal shield in a criminal case. Which makes it even funnier that this sovereign citizen is out here screaming, "I reserve my right to subrogation," like he's just summoned the legal exodia. Spoiler alert, that's not how this works. The man was originally hit with a prostitution charge, which later got dropped to disorderly conduct. And now he's flailing so hard in court, he'd probably trade his belt for a lighter sentence. The real mystery? How the judge hasn't cracked up yet. Let's jump in and watch her hold it together while he tries to litigate from Google.
I need your oath of office and your bonding information so I can make sure you are who you say you are and who you claim to be and what your duties and responsibilities are. All public officials must be bonded. I need all of y'all for full disclosure. Am I getting full disclosure right now, ma'am? I need full disclosure before I can make any decisions.
I've told you all that. So
no, you did not tell me all that. I need the name and the address of your bonding company and your policy number to make sure your oath of office is current. I need all of that.
That doesn't apply here, Mr. Durham.
Really now? The law doesn't apply to you. You're above the law is what you're saying.
So I'm going to set this for a jury trial, sir. what I'll do is, do you want to retain your own attorney or are you going to represent yourself?
Ma'am, I'm only here for the one purpose of subrogation. Nobody has given me nothing what I asked for, but you keep trying to force yourself on me.
I'm not forcing anything. You're here for something that doesn't apply to this court, Mr. Durham. If you're here for
So why don't you dismiss the case? Because I was not driving, I was traveling, ma'am.
As a defendant. You're not here as a
No, I'm not here as a defendant, ma'am.
Beneficiary.
I'm here as a beneficiary, ma'am.
You cannot come here and tell me how it's going to work. That is not how it goes.
So I need full disclosure. Am I getting full disclosure?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Yes.
What jurisdiction is this court operating under? Common law or admiralty jurisdiction? Which jurisdiction is this court operating under? Statutory jurisdiction?
The jurisdiction of the city of Detroit.
Is that statutory? Is that statutory? Because the city of Detroit don't get to overrule the Supreme Court or the Constitution. And it says if it tries to do that, everything you do is null and void. The Constitution overrules the law of the land, and that's what I'm under.
In order to be heard by the Supreme Court, Mr. Durham, you have to first go through the district court. And
no, ma'am, that's not true. That's not true, ma'am.
Agree with it, then you can appeal it. But as of now,
I asked to see the lawyer's bond. I asked to see the attorney's bond. I asked to see the contract you have, so I can.
Do you want to retain your own counsel, Mr. Durham? He's muted. We'll just it just looks like that you're supposed to pay the fine of $50. So we'll just have you pay that on the next day, by the next time you come back, which will be January 17th. So you need to pay the $50 by January 17th at 8:35, which is your next court date. And then your jury trial date is February 7th at 1:35. All right, so you are all set, Mr. Durham.
Mr. Durham is saying something, but he's still muted.
Mr. Durham, you are muted, sir. I don't know if you know how to unmute yourself. It's the bottom left-hand corner.
I object to these proceedings.
Your objection is noted, Mr. Durham.
What the judge really means here is, yes, we heard you, and no one cares. And honestly, watching this particular sovereign citizen spiral is enough to make you question how someone can be this wrong and this confident at the same time. Like, bro, you live in one of the freest countries in the world, and your big rebellion is refusing to take a 20-question driving test? That's your hill? The irony is wild. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room while butchering basic legal concepts with more conviction than a Harvard law grad. And the judge? You can just tell she's been through this rodeo before. She's letting him dig his own hole with a velvet rope and a court transcript. Buckle up, this guy's got more misplaced confidence than a flat earther with a telescope.
So you got your jury trial date, and then you have your pre-trial date, the final pre-trial.
Okay, when is the prosecution going to send me all the evidence, including the witness, the damaged property, and the injured party's name? I need to know everybody involved. I need all this information.
Of course you do. Mr. Durham, what that is called discovery. And you have to do a request in writing for your discovery.
Ma'am, I'm not part of your society. I don't have to follow those rules and regulations because you can't tell me where to find the rules and regulations for statutory jurisdiction. Where can I find a copy of the rules and procedures for statutory jurisdiction? Because that's what you're operating under, statutory law, right? A statutory jurisdiction. Where can I find the rules for that? Can you tell me where I can get a copy?
You have your request in writing for discovery, okay, sir? And she should be able to give you the police reports or whatever she has. She can email it to you so that you can prepare for trial.
Are you going to give me your oath of office and bonding information? That's including the name, address, and policy number of your bond? Are you going to give me that?
I don't even know what all of that is.
Your public officials surety bond, just in case you violate my rights. All public officials must be bonded. You don't know what a bond is?
No, I don't. I don't.
I'm gonna write the treasurer, and they're gonna
I don't
tell me
have
the
a
name of your
bond
bonding
myself.
company.
I
I'm gonna write the
don't have a
treasurer.
bond myself. So I'm giving
So you're
you
not
all the
bonded.
information that.
So you're not bonded, is what you're saying.
I've given you all the information that you need.
Okay.
This hearing. So you are all set, Mr. Durham. Unless you had other questions, you are all set, sir.
Yeah, I do have questions, but you won't answer them. You won't answer none of my questions. Are you operating under a statutory jurisdiction, a common law jurisdiction, or admiralty jurisdiction?
This matter is concluded, so you're all set.
Oh, so you, okay, I understand now. The bully tactic. Don't nobody want to answer questions, but they want me to comply with. I don't understand that. How am I supposed to have compelled performance if y'all don't?
The scariest part of this entire hearing, this guy's probably dead serious. Like, not just parroting Facebook group nonsense, he believes this courtroom fantasy he's spinning. That's the unsettling part. He could be your neighbor, your coworker, and you'd never know until he starts shouting, "I don't consent," during a traffic stop. And look, I think the judge held it together okay here. But if we're being honest, she could have gone harder. Zoom hearings make it tough, sure, but hit that mute button, drop a contempt charge, do something, because watching this guy unravel from his kitchen while pretending he's in a federal standoff isn't justice. It's theater. Maybe it's time to rethink how we handle these delusional outbursts. Just saying. Sound off in the comments. This one's wild.